What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POB. Shout out to the members of the channel. Shout out to the Point of View crew and Trip on This. Tonight's video is something a little bit different. At least different for us. I don't know if anybody else has done a video like this, but I think it's a good idea. What we're going to do is go through my whole career. My P number, my F number, from the crime to the conviction, to how much time I did, where I was at, how long I was out, the next crime, the next conviction, the next place I went, how long I was out, on down the line. Throw it all the way out there. Now, we won't get through all of my incarcerations tonight. There's no way. We'll get through some, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. It's going to be a cool video. I know you're going to dig it. I mean, it comes jam-packed full of stories, homeboy. But first, hey, you see me wearing my Metallica shirt. You know, a miracle happened to me at a Metallica concert. Straight up miracle. And shout out to the Point of View crew member who shot me this Metallica shirt a couple years ago. He gave me like 5 old school vintage Metallica shirts, bro. After he heard the story about the miracle at the Metallica concert. He's like, these shirts are all you, homeboy. Dude, I love these shirts he gave me. I'm a huge Metallica fan, homeboy. And now, dude, here's the miracle. Where you at? Love Metallica. They were going to do a concert at the Forum, 1994. I'm just a freaking youngster, homeboy. Way under 18. And so, but I'm going to go. Some of my friends, Brad and Mindy in particular, bought tickets and I was going to ride with them. Mindy had a car. Brad's my homie. Mindy's his cousin. I kind of knew Mindy. I ended up knowing her, getting to know her more later on. But bro, suffice it to say, I'm going to this Metallica concert. I already got my ticket. I'm going to ride with Brad and Mindy. They got their tickets on and cracking. Bro, like 3 days before the Metallica concert. 3 days before they play at the Forum. I'm just so pumped up. I can't wait, dude. I'm not even sleeping at night. Just so excited to go see Metallica live, bro. So pumped up. And 3 days before the concert, Brad calls, hey, bro, we can't give you a ride there no more. I'm like, what? Why, dude? What do you mean? He's like, oh, we're taking some other people. The car's, it's packed. Now, at this point, like I said, way under 18, bro. I'd already done time at KYF, so I had a little bit of jail experience. I've been a skinhead. I knew a little bit about fighting and being a gangster, homeboy. But I mean, if they'd done something like that to me now, off with their head. But at the time, I was a little bit tolerant. I was like, oh, you're not going to give me a ride? You have other people going instead of me? Even though you give me your word? I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, whatever. But like I said, they try pulling that shit now, or even 20 years ago, it would have been a major issue, homeboy. But back then, ethics, methics, what can I do? I'm still going, though. I don't give a fizz up, dude. So I start calling around. Who could take me to the Forum? To this Metallica concert? And finally, I end up talking to this dude I don't even really know. He's my cousin's weed connect, this black dude. And he's like, I'm going to LA. That same exact day, at that same time, I can drop you off at the Forum to see the Metallica concert, but I cannot bring you home. Find your own way home. And I'm like, cool! I'm all about it. Let's do this. Not only that, he sold me a bag of weed, homeboy. I'm all about it. Where you at? I didn't even care that I did not have a ride home. I'm thinking, you know what? I'll call 1-800-RUNAWAY hotline. I ran away from home. I need to get back. Call my dad. Worst case scenario, he'll figure it out, bro. I'm a youngster. Hey, I'm under his care. I'm a juvenile, brother. Hey, dude, so I don't care if I don't have a ride home or not. Glenn, the Black Weed Connect, drops me off at the Forum. I go see Metallica, and I'm just... Dude, I know that during Creeping Death, Kurt Hammett looked right at me, bro. We shared a moment, dude. I'm just... Metallica! I'm feeling it, bro. I'm having a blast, dog. Yeah! All pumped up. I don't care about my ride home, or the lack of one. After Metallica comes Guns N' Roses, bro. Metallica ended their set. The last song was Nothing Else Matters, bro. It was beautiful, man. Metallica leaves the stage. Guns N' Roses comes on the stage. I start to trip a little bit. I'm starting to be like, dude, how am I going to get home, bro? Now, Guns N' Roses sucked. Sucked! Sucked, bro. Dude, they put on a lame live show. One song, then Axl leaves, and it'd be like a long guitar solo. Axl comes back on, one song, he leaves a long drum solo. Axl comes back on, one song, he leaves a long bass solo. Dude, I stuck around for like 3 songs and 3 long instrumentations. I start getting a headache from the stress and probably the Bammer weed, homeboy. And I'm like, dude, how am I going to get home? So I just got up mid Guns N' Roses, dude, and start walking around. Just like contemplating, I bump into somebody by accident. And I turn around to say, oh, excuse me. And it was Brad. What? What do you mean? Brad? From Bakersfield, my friend who was supposed to drive me up there but said he couldn't because now the car's jam-packed, no room for me. Out of 50,000 people, bro, I happen to bump into Brad. I turn around and go, oh, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, what's up, man? Like, how you doing? I go, I'm pretty cool. Later, and I started to walk away. They already said they couldn't give me a ride home. Dude, I'm not going to say, hey, dude, I came up here anyway my own way. Can I continue back? I'm stranded? No, they already said they couldn't take me. Fuck them, bro. So I'm walking away, and he's like, hey, how can you get home or whatever? Like, who you with? I was like, I don't know. He goes, we'll take you. I was like, all right, mighty fine of you, sir. Prick. Even though you already said you couldn't take me, bro. Hey, I ride home with him and Mindy, and it was just them. Wait a minute, though. You said you couldn't bring me because the car was packed. It's only you guys. And, dude, they stopped. They had just enough money for a motel. They had already a motel schedule and all that. Dude, they got a motel on the way home from L.A. Who gets a motel on the way home from L.A.? Dude, it's an hour and a half drive. Those fools had a motel, and that's all the money they had money for. The motel. I remember I got us 2 Big Macs. It was 2 Big Macs or 222 back in the day. Where you at? I had 222. I got 2 Big Macs. We shared them. I had some of the Bammer weed left. We smoked. But, bro, why'd they get a motel? Why'd they tell me I couldn't go? I think they were going to bump uglies, dude. Those weirdos. I think them being cousins were going to whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's tell Chris we can't take them and get a motel on the way back from Metallica. And blah. I mean, what else, dude? Huh? Can't figure that shit out, dog. What in the fizzuck? But hey, it's a miracle. Glory be to Jesus, bro, that I even bumped into them. Because what would have happened to me? I could have probably jumped in the car with any old person. Hey, you need a ride? Dude, I would have jumped in the car with any old person. But God had me bump into Brad, bro. And I got brought home. That's the Metallica trip. So here we go. We're going to get into this. And actually even made notes, bro. I'll refer to them like a fun, interesting kind of way. So my first term, let's get right into it. Let's go. My first term, bro, I got April. I got a terrorist threats for threatening my ex-wife because she basically stole my kids from me. Had a couple kids back in the day. I know you guys hear me say, oh, I don't have kids. Well, I mean, because I haven't seen them since way back then. And they got adopted and they have a new dad, new dad's last name. I mean, like, we chatted once in a great while, but, bro, forgive me if I say I don't have any kids. I don't. They got stolen from me. So my ex-wife, bro, steals the kids. I find out where she's working at, and I call her like 50 times in a row. She's a secretary at Mercedes-Benz, and I'm cussing her out. I'm telling her I'm going to do all this. I'm telling her I'm going to do all that. And she has to answer the phone because she's a secretary. It's not like she could just leave her ringing. She's like, hello, this is Mercedes-Benz. I'm like, fuck you. Steal my kids. It's on a crack and I'll be there when you get off. Click. Ring. Hello, Mercedes-Benz. Oh, me again. It's on. Dude, 50 times, bro. What? Put a warrant out for my arrest. Came and snatched my ass up. That was in April. Now I got 16 months for the terrorist threat. And I went to county jail for 4 months. I went to Wasco reception for 2 months. And I went to the mainline prison, Central Valley, MCCF, for 6 months. Now, what stuck out to me about county jail that time in April when I got busted for my first term? I'd already been to county jail several times. Probably have a couple years at least built up just in county jail time alone. So county jail is nothing new to me. First time I'm going to prison. I get to county jail in April. Boom. End up getting sentenced to that 16 months. Like I said, I stayed there 4 months. Went to Wasco. In those 4 months, what stands out to me is learning how to play pinochle for one. And bro, this riot we got into with the Southsiders. The day I showed up there in Barrack 16. I ended up moving from 16 to 6, and I can't remember how. But I walk into Barrack 16, it's like 11 o'clock at night, all the lights are out. They bring you there late. Usually you walk in, the TVs are on, or maybe they just turned off, people are joking, standing around, smoking a cigarette. You walk in, bro, it's quiet as a mouse. All the blacks are in bed, and you got a group of Southsiders right here, and the Pisces are with them. So you got all brown over here, and a bunch of whites right here, and they're like standing off. It's getting ready to get vicious, dude. Now walk in and just gulp. Just too big, just mayhem getting ready to kick off, dude. But I see the Southsiders here and the Woods here, but then off to the corner, I see 3 Woods. No shirt on. Some tattoos, like healthy, standing off to the side. And I was like, dude, who's that? Is that our cleanup crew? Man, if I was a Southsiders, I'd be very nervous right now. Seeing the wood pile in front of me and those 3 crazy Woods off to the side with their shirts off in the dark, looking like they're just going to come in and just mollywop, bro. I was like, that's our cleanup crew. And I even gave them a couple of these. That's right, Wood. That's right, Wood. But then I started looking and talking and starting to notice and figured out they were Wood, they were Southsiders. Whoa! When I figured that out, I'm like, oh, it's over then. I mean, those 3 gnarly dudes off in the corner are actually Southsiders. Well, then we're surrounded. Well, then we're done for. That's their cleanup crew, bro. They're going to get it. Bro, and one of those dudes was a guy named Joker. And if you watch a documentary, I don't even know what it's called. There's a badass documentary about Bakersfield out there. Because there's been some crazy stuff happen in Bakersfield. That white Southsider dude named Joker. I ended up seeing him in and out of county jail a bunch of times. But he was one of the 3 white dudes I thought was a Wood homeboy and had our back, and turned out nah. Now that's kind of cheating, bro. That's not fair. Getting ready to get into a big old riot with the Southsiders. I see 3 white dudes over there thinking they're Woods. It's like, wait a minute, you're not Woods? Well, dude, that's cheating. That is straight up cheating, bro. We went from having 10 to 7 just like that. And they went from having 15 to 18. Where you at? So, hey, bro, but that dude Joker ended up making this documentary. He was driving around with a confidential informant. And Joker was wanted by the law. He had a bunch of high-power warrants. And he's driving around with this confidential informant. And the confidential informant is talking to the cops. Like, we're here now. We just got here. This confidential informant that's driving around with this white Southsider named Joker is setting them up as they're driving through the city of Bakersfield at midnight. Yeah, we're here now. We just left this store. We're here. Finally, they get to the Four Seasons Motel. We're here at the Four Seasons. All these cops pull up. They jump out. Boom. Joker shoots that confidential informant, bro. He must have knew it. He's like, what? Fool? Boom. Dum-dum. And then the cops bang it out and then take Joker's win. But the family of the confidential informant got pissed. Filed a lawsuit against Bakersfield. You didn't protect your informant. Whoop, whoop, and cha, cha, cha. So, hey, bro, I certainly remember that riot. And also, like I said, Pinochle. I learned Pinochle my first term, bro. Changed my life. Changed my life, dude. Pinochle changed my life. The way I look at life. It definitely changed doing time. Dude, there's nothing greater than sitting playing a hand of Pinochle. And I mean Pinochle with 4 people. That's how Pinochle was designed. I mean, you can play with 2, I guess. Playing 2-man Pinochle is kind of like just choking the chicken. And real Pinochle is this whoop Scooby with a chick. You could look at it like that. Pinochle is just tearing your old lady's guts up. And then 4-man Pinochle, that is. And 2-man Pinochle choking the chicken. It's like, with your eyes closed, it's the same, kind of. I mean, almost the same, but dude, no, not quite. Now, 3-man Pinochle, don't even call me over there. Do not even call me over there. They call it racehorse, whatever. Dude, I'll spit, dude. I'll throw the Pinochle cards away. I don't want to play no 3-man. Okay? So, dude, that's what I think of when I think of county jail. My first term, those 4 months. That right with the Southsiders and learning Pinochle. Now, then, like I said, I went to, hey, where you at? Like I said, I went to Wasco Reception for 2 months. After I spent 4 months in county jail. What do I remember about Wasco Reception? Meeting this dude, Big John. Big John from Bakersfield. I met him right there, homeboy, Wasco Reception. And we ended up having like a long feud that just lasted over several years. Several different encounters at several different prisons. Every time Big John, him and I saw each other, dude, it was just all bad. Because the first time I met him, bro, I'd go walk into Wasco Reception the first time. I'm a first termer. I'm a Wood from Bakersfield. I had 3 pouches of tobacco on me. I'm expecting my older homeboys who have been there before to show me the ropes, teach me the way, help me sling some of these cigarettes, whatever the case may be. But Big John comes out of the woodwork homeboy from Bakersfield, one of my older homeboys, instead of having my back, he's like, hey, I'll buy one of your pouches for a jar of coffee. And I go, pound it, dude. Don't you ever disrespect me. You're going to offer me $5 for a pouch, and you know they go for $100. So basically, you're going to try to rip me off and get over on me, even though I'm your little younger homeboy. That's how you're going to do me? Nah, pound it. I won't be selling you a pouch. And nobody I give tobacco to better go over there and smoke it with you, or else they won't get no more from me. None of this tobacco I pull out of my ass better make it into your lungs full, because you got nothing coming from me. Bro, we had that interaction, dude, several more times. One time I got a filetto. I was going to stick him, bro, but he wouldn't come in the back for me. I got the filetto from a Southsider from Ventura who had the keys right there, and he ended up getting in trouble for giving a wood the filetto, bro. Harsh whips, dog. So that's what I remember about Wasco Reception that time, my first term meeting Big John. And then, like I said, I went to Central Valley MCCF, and I stayed there for 6 months. What do I remember about being at Central Valley MCCF for 6 months? What stands out? Seeing Termite. Because when I was in Wasco Reception, back when I had that big issue with Big John, I'm there. The dude who sat next to me was a Southsider named Termite. And me and him bumped heads. Whoa, bro, like we really got into it. One time I said, hey, don't termites eat wood? And just, bro, from there it flared up. Several times we almost got into a fight. People had to separate us. And we lived next to each other. And he'd always hoot and holler about me like cutting through his front yard, as they call it. If you're sitting on your bunk, because we didn't have neighbors, you're sitting on your bunk, you want that big square, you claim all that real estate right there for you. But dude, I don't know where the lines are exactly. I'm cutting through, bro. I don't want to walk too much that way, because that's where the bathroom is. Our bunks are right up by the bathroom, bro. So I either cut through Termite's front yard a little bit, or go over by the shower and be like a shower shark. Literally just walk real close to like 5 dudes in the shower. Hey guys, what's up? I'm just trying to get real close to you. I mean, God forbid I go in that 4 foot of space in front of Termite's bunk. Fuck that, dude. I would cut corners, and me and Termite did not get along at all, bro. One day, bro, I'm at Central Valley MCCF, and I already had my tongue pierced. Joker from Visalia would pierce my tongue, and I had a pin filler for jewelry. You take the ink out, it's a pin filler, bro. You put it in there and you burn both ends. Well, I was chewing on it all the time. It's been there about a month, getting kind of old. And I told Joker, I need a new pin filler, bro. He's like, right, my trip, I got you. So he made a new one, you stick out your tongue. I didn't look at the new pin filler. I didn't realize it was 3 times bigger than the other one. And he crammed that motherfucker in. I'm like, oh! Oh! Stretch the shit out of my tongue. Immediately, I just start slobbering and dripping like, yar, I still didn't even realize that it was much bigger than the original. I just figured that, man, I guess it hurts when you put a new one in. I didn't know. Dude, it hurt off the hook. I go right over to my bunk area, just like, tongue hanging out and spit. They start bringing new people in. They brought new guys in. One of them was Termite. And ain't that a bitch, that fool slept right next to me again. Not only was he next to me at Wasco Reception, we bumped heads all the time. No, he followed me to Central Valley MCCF, homeboy. Got there a month after I did, and slept right next to me, and happened to show up the day I stretched out my tongue. It was like, oh, what's that? I mean, bro, him and I used to mad dog each other during count. You know how difficult that is? He'd be on his bed facing this way. I'd be on my bed facing this way. During count, we'd just be like, mad dogging each other. Not look away, not look to the right, not look to the left, not have a book, not be doing nothing, messing with your locker, not talking to your neighbor, just... Dude, it takes an iron will, homeboy. I don't think I could do it now, bro. I'm not emotionally fit to do it now. I'd be like, all right, you win, motherfucker, let's just fight. But dude, we'd mad dog each other. We had buku problems, and he shows up. So, bro, I am out. I get out in April. I got arrested for my first term in April. 4 months in county jail, 2 months in Wasco, 6 months. Central Valley MCCF. Get out in April. Out for 4 months, and I get busted in August. The reason why I get busted is because I was a bodyguard for a drug dealer. He's kind of like my homeboy. He was living in these ghetto-ass apartments. He was slinging a pretty big sack. He didn't even like me, bro. He swore up and down that me and his old lady were banging, and we were not. I just wanted nothing to do with her. And I doubt she wanted anything to do with me, but he was just tripped out. He didn't like me around, but he needed me. There's no one there to have his back. And I'm there having his back because he's kicking me down, bro. And so it was a business arrangement. And dude, we did not even really get along. But I drive to the other side of town one night to do a big deal. And we get there kind of late, and the dude's like sleeping. He's already gone. It took a long time to get there because on the way I was breaking into cars. And he was pissed off, of course, the drug dealer. Come on, what are you doing? I kept pulling over and breaking into cars. It used to be an addiction. Anyway, bro, we get there way too late to do the deal. Guy's already asleep. So we go to leave. A sheriff gets behind me. I run from the sheriff, pull in this alley. We jump a fence. I go through a doggy door of this house to hide from the cops. The house has CCTV, so I see after I jump the fence, I can see the cops on that same fence. They spray the dog with mace, which made me feel bad, but they can't get in because of chain and they're not jumping it. So they're just kind of standing there like, ooh, dumbfounded. Meanwhile, I'm in the house, like I said, watching the cops on CCTV, and the drug dealer who I was protecting was in the house with me. But he does not feel safe. He's like, dude, we gotta leave. I go where? We're fine right here. Dude, they're not gonna come in here. They're not gonna knock on the door. Why would they? They have no idea where we are. They would never guess in a million years that we jumped the fence and just flipped to you and went in this house, they think we kept on going, bro. No. Anyway, he got paranoid and went back out the doggy door. I could see him on CCTV running. I'm like, damn. The cops catch him, and he tells them where I'm at. Chris is at Steve's house. Later on, I confront him with the paperwork. You told on me, motherfucker. I didn't know they knew where Steve's house was. I said Chris is at Steve's house. I had no idea they knew where Steve's house was. But Steve was asleep in bed. I'm hiding in his house. The drug dealer told the cops I'm in Steve's house, so they come beat on the door. Steve gets up and answers, hello? Huh? They're like, you have someone in your house. They're hiding from us. He's like, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. So some sheriffs came barging in, and they grabbed me, bro, handcuffed me, and walked me out. And I'll never forget the look on Steve's face, and I come walking out of that back room handcuffed. He's like, Chris? He couldn't believe it, bro, trying to wake up. Huh? But then he really couldn't believe it when the cops slammed the handcuffs on him because he had a big old shotgun leaning up in the corner, homeboy. And they busted him for ex-felon with a firearm. Wouldn't you know it? So now he's sitting out in a sheriff car on his way to jail for a felony. Dude, a minute ago he was sleeping in bed. He was a mad motherfucker. But dude, you know what tripped me out? He ended up going to PC. The cops called another sheriff car out. They said, we can't put you guys all in the same sheriff car together because the dude, the owner of the house, that Steve guy, has... Dude, bad charges from back in the day, bro. That POS. Fuck him, dog. So, hey, that's how I got the violation 10 with half. Where are we at? Out for 4 months. Got busted in August. 10 with half. 1 week in county jail. 1 month in Wasco. 5 months in Mule Creek, level 1. And you could break up 5 months in Mule Creek, because actually 2 weeks was in the gym on C Yard, and 4.5 months on E Yard, the level 1. So what do I remember about being county jail? I was only there a week. I don't recall a whole bunch about being in county jail for that week. One thing I do remember, though, is I needed to make up some clavos. Some clavos of tobacco. I always take 3 pouches with me when I go upstate. I always make my own clavos. But I had a good homeboy with me. I was in Bears 21. I was kind of busy, and I was like, hey, bro, make me up 3 clavos real quick. And I gave him all the material. Dude, if you're going to put... you never quit learning. You never quit learning. I learned an important lesson that day. If you're going to put something up your booty, you make it. Don't put that in some other man's hands. You need to be in control of the girth and the length of the damn thing. It's not going up their ass. They don't care about the girth or the length. They're just trying to whip it together. Because he came, he's like, boom, here you go. I'm like, fuck, dog. You bastard, man. And the cops are getting ready to come get us. I really have no time to make more, nor do I have any more gloves. I had to run with the dog. Dude, you ain't nothing nice, fool. So that's what I remember about county jail for that week. Now, what do I remember about Wasco reception? A wood from Santa Barbara hit a ridiculously huge bag of Gattaca. Wasco reception C Yard. It's unheard of. I've never seen it happen again, or have I ever heard of it. Ask around if you know someone who's been to Wasco reception. Say, hey, you ever heard of someone having a big bag of Gattaca in there that they didn't bring with them from county jail? Dude, this wood from Santa Barbara hit it while we were there at Wasco, bro. C3. Now, C3 has 2 sides, A side and B side. We're on A side. The people on B side found out that there was a big bag of Gattaca over there. And, dude, they came walking over with bags of groceries. Walking through the Sally Port. You can't go from side to side, dude. Came walking over groceries. We heard there's dope over here. Are you a cop? You're just going to sneak through the sally port, come over, as if this cop ain't going to recognize you don't live here, with groceries talking about some dope. Get the fuck out of here, bro. But the wood from Santa Barbara who hit all that Gattaca was my neighbor. He was lacing me up, dude, just get me high every 5 minutes. And at the time, I was still a prankster gangster. I didn't even like Gattaca at this time. But of course, I was doing it. And I just remember, dude, running around all over C3 with a piece of paper, with a beanie on, kind of crooked, just running around like, hey, can you draw a Medusa? I really wanted a Medusa on my neck. Dude, Medusa? Can you draw a Medusa? And my beanie wasn't crooked because I purposely put it like that. No, just I'm disheveled, homeboy. All of a sudden, my shirt tucked in. Just a mess. High as a kite. Can you draw a Medusa? Then one morning, we're sitting at breakfast. I start feeling like I have to throw up, bro. Dude, the cops run that damn C3. Of course they do, bro. The cops tell us when to eat and when to go back to our bunks and when to have day room and when to go to yard. They're in control of that shit. So when we're having breakfast and all of a sudden I raise my hand, which is something no one ever does, and the cop looks at me like, huh? And I go, I gotta use the bathroom. And before he could even say yes or no, I get up from my breakfast table and run over to the bathroom and start throwing up. Because I'd done too much Gattaca. Dude, surprisingly, no one even batted an eye. No inmate said nothing. The cop didn't even really trip. But you know who tripped? The dude who gave me the Gattaca. The wood from Santa Barbara. He said, you ain't getting no more. You're a bust, fool. So, what do I remember about going to Mule Creek? Now, like I said, 2 weeks in the gym. What I remember about those 2 weeks in the gym is these two norteños tripping on me the whole time. Because right here, under these flames, forgive me, Lord, it used to say Philippians 4:13. Actually, it said Philip 4:13. Forgive me, Lord, I covered it up. It looks sloppy. I still believe in Philippians 4:13. It's not I would want to catch on flames. Forgive me, Lord. I'll put it again on me somewhere else. But hey, it said Philip 4:13. Because I was in a set-free men's home. They only let you get you can get tattoo work in this men's home, bro. If you got like a praying hands or a Bible verse, religious related. I wanted a tattoo. Hey, put Philippians 4:13 on my stomach, dog. Now, a couple years later, I'm in Mule Creek, the gym. And there's Norteños in there, but there's no Southsiders. Nowhere on C... Oh, yeah, there is Southsiders on C Yard, but not in the gym, though. And North and South is going at it tough. So I'm over in the corner with boxers on, doing burpees, bro, doing my Jane Fonda, and these two Norteños are staring at me. Interrupt my workout. What's up, Wood? What's up with that 13? Well, you rightly said, Wood. So you know I'm not a Southsider. If fat cops don't even put Southsiders in here, I think you know that too. It says Philippians 4:13. Oh, it looks like Phillip Street. No, Philippians 4:13. Showed it to him, let him see it. You know, here, would you like to see it? Would you like a copy of it? You want me to write it down so you can look at it later at your bunk if you forgot what it looked like? What do you need here to get you moving the fuck out of my face so I can continue my routine? Oh, okay, cool. But dude, there they were the next day, looking at me again, studying me out. And I was like, they're like, what is that? I was like, Philippians 4:13. Bro, they must have asked me 5 or 6 times, dude. To where the point it was becoming a joke. It was getting freaking old, man. And you know what I start thinking? Here I am in the back. My routine let me just show you what I used to do back in the day. It's not a number. You just go continuously if you do it for an hour straight. So you don't know how many you do. It's a time thing. 5 jumping jack. You just keep doing them for a whole hour. And so I'm doing that, and these fools are staring at me, and I only have boxers on, and I'm like, are they watching my dick bounce up and down? Is that what we're doing here? Because I have thoroughly educated you on the fact that it is in fact a Bible verse. It says Philippians 4:13. How dare you continue to push this issue? Now I'm starting to think you're just over here sharking. Hey, dude, hey. The Woods over there working out in the corner again. Want to go there and look at his pecker bounce, homeboy? I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know what it says. I've been working out and I see them come walking up and I go, Philippians 4:13. I was only in the gym for 2 weeks. And then I went over to the E-Yard. Now, back then, Mule Creek was GP. Okay? Ended up making it PC. Well, parts of it were PC, I believe, A and B Yard. That's where the Melendez brothers were. Like I said, it was on C-Yard orientation, E-Yard, level 1. What do I remember about level 1? Mule Creek is the shot caller for the Woods. This dude from Sacramento had 3 dudes Went with them everywhere he went. Oh yeah, his protection detail. His homeboys have his back. People holding his shank. People right there. No. 3 lames, actually. His weights. Human weights. He had one dude that sat up on his shoulders like piggyback so he could do squats. He had another dude that hung around like this on his back for pull-ups. And another dude that would sit on him for push-ups. 3 dudes went with him everywhere. His human weights. He went nowhere without him. He might want to drop and do a push-up. Get on, boys! And they had the nerve to like look hard when they were walking around with them. Like we're walking around the shot collar. He's using you for weight. Other than that, you're absolutely like no good to him. So they have the nerve to look hard until you like look at him. And they'd be like, oh fuck, they know. They know we're just weights. We're on lame status. Straight level, homeboy. Another thing I remember about Mule Creek Level 1, I had a $50 debt. I owed $50 when I paroled. Towards my last week there, I owed $50 for God to go. My dad told me, no. I've been sending you money this whole time. You got a week left. Chill. I'm not giving you this $50. I told the guys, I can't pay it, dude. That's the difference between a level 1 and a level 4. Because a level 4, you're getting killed. Maybe even a level 3 if you owe $50. I'm not letting you leave. Level 1, I talked myself out of it. I was like, you guys could beat me up and never get any money. Or not beat me up and let me parole, dude, and I'll send you $50 in the streets. But the last 3 days, it was hell. Dude, I was trying to avoid them. I was going to different bunk areas because it's like, they're just on. You got to pay it. I said I'd pay it. I say I'd pay it. Dude, for my last 3 days there, I was bobbing and weaving these dudes, avoiding them. Like, I didn't want to see them, bro. They were on my bumper, bro. And finally, they called me to leave. I took my stuff. I was so happy to get the fuck out of there. I wouldn't have to see these guys no more. I go to R&R. I'm getting ready to leave. One of those dudes I owed the $50 to was an R&R worker. So there he was. I'm like, oh, you again? You're going to pay that 50, right? Walking around R&R, mad dog at me, staring at me. Like, what in the fizzuck, homie? I'm going to cut the string, let it fly. We'll pick it up from here. After Mule Creek, I went to Mesa Verde CCF. We're going to keep going with it, bro. Being honest about the time I did. Cut the string, let it fly. Peace.